Hi Stair students, my name is Miss Asher, and in today's video we are going to be doing lesson 6 of Unit 3 in our writing journals. So for today's writing journal activity, we are going to be facing our fears. Yeah, that's right, so we're going to be writing about things that make us afraid. We have to remember that sometimes we are afraid and sometimes we are brave, and it's okay to be afraid of things. Brave people get scared too. I would consider myself a brave person, but I definitely get scared sometimes, and that's okay. So sometimes we just have to face our fears and act brave. So the first thing we're going to do for our writing activity today is we're going to write a list of things we're afraid of. So you might be afraid of heights, or spiders, or airplanes, or zombies, or sharks, or the dark, or scary movies or creepy closets. So we're going to go ahead and make a list of things that scare us. So I'm going to make my list based on what scares me, but you might have different fears. Okay, let's get started. Let's see. So one thing that I am scared of is ghosts. I do not want to turn around and see a ghost in the middle of the night. I have never had that happen, and I hope it doesn't. So I'm going to write ghosts. And for our next item, I'm going to write snakes, because I don't like snakes very much. I'm less scared of them than I used to be, but I am still scared of snakes. So I'm scared of ghosts and snakes and heights. I do not like to be on a really tall bridge and look down. It makes me feel sick. I don't like it. So I'm a little scared of heights. Oh, spiders. I don't like spiders. Again, this is one that I am not as scared of as I used to be, but I would not like to see a spider right now. I'm scared of crabs. I'm always worried that at the beach I'm going to step on a crab and it's going to pinch me. So, all right. Spiders, crabs, drowning. I'm scared of drowning. I know how to swim, but I still am scared of being in the water when it's too rapid sometimes. And then what else am I scared of? Oh, I don't like clowns. Clowns kind of creep me out a little bit. I think they're a little creepy. So let's see, I'll show you my list. Okay, we've got ghosts, snakes, heights, spiders, crabs, drowning, and clowns. So those are some things that scare me. And I hope that you were able to think of some things that scare you. And so once you have that whole list written out, you're going to go ahead and pick one item that you're going to write about. So let's look at my list. I think I'm going to write about spiders because I have a lot of stories that I could tell about spiders. I have more experience with spiders than I do with, say, drowning or seeing ghosts. So since we're going to be writing about our fear today, I'm going to write about spiders because it's going to be the easiest for me to write about. Okay. So now that you've chosen your item from your list, you're going to write about why you're afraid of it. You want to use complete sentences and details to describe why you're scared of that thing. And your story is going to be in 3 parts. So first, you're just going to name what you're afraid of with one complete sentence. Then secondly, you're going to describe why this makes you scared and how it makes you feel. And so then in our last line, we're going to talk, or our last part, we're going to talk about how you were brave when you experienced this thing that made you afraid. So remember that it's brave to face your fears, and sometimes when we write about our feelings, it makes us stronger. So let's be strong together. Now, we're going to write this all on the back page of Lesson 6, and remember to add interesting details. You may want to write using your feelings word bank, which is in the resource section of your writing journal. Okay, so for part 1, it says, what are you afraid of? So I'm going to write a complete sentence. I'm going to say, I am afraid of spiders. I'll make sure I'll write it in big words so you guys can see everything. I am afraid of spiders. Okay, so there is my first sentence. I just said, I am afraid of spiders. So that explains what I'm afraid of. And now we're going to go on to part 2, which is to explain why does this make you afraid and how does it make you feel? Oh gosh. So one of the things that I really dislike the most about spiders is that they've got too many legs for me. Too many creepy, crawly, scary legs. So I do not like spiders. When I look at them, it makes my skin crawl. I feel, ugh. And they have too many legs, and I'm scared they're going to crawl on me. And when I see a big, hairy spider, I just want to run away. Don't like them. So let's write about that. So it says, why does this make you afraid? And so in a complete sentence, I'm going to say, when I look at spiders, they make my skin crawl, which answers the how does it make you feel part of this. So when I look at spiders, my skin crawls. My skin crawls. And then let's say they have too many legs and I'm scared that they will climb on me. So that's another feelings word. So I said afraid, and then I'm going to say scared too, which is another feelings word. They have too many legs and I'm scared they'll crawl on me. Okay, so here is the first 2 parts of my little story. It says, I am afraid of spiders. When I look at spiders, my skin crawls. They have too many legs, and I'm scared that they'll crawl on me. Okay, so now for our 3rd part, you're going to write about a time that you actually experienced this. And you want to think about a time when you were brave against the thing that scared you. So if you were scared of the dark, you might write that you were brave by still sleeping on your own when you lost your nightlight or when you didn't have one. Even though you were scared, you were brave to do that. Or you could write that you were brave to get on an airplane even though that it scared you. But I am going to write about the time that I worked at a summer camp where I was a camp counselor and we had cabins. And lots of bugs would get into those cabins, and as a counselor, one of my many jobs was to handle the spiders that everybody else was scared of too. So that's what I'm going to write about. I'm going to say, when I worked as a camp counselor, I often had to remove spiders from the cabin. So I learned how to trap them with a cup and a piece of paper and throw them back outside. I always remind myself that spiders are more scared of me than I am of them. And so I'm going to write that as the conclusion to my little story about spiders. So let's see. When I was a counselor, I often had to remove spiders from the cabin. I would use a cup and a piece of paper and throw them back outside. Outside. And then my last sentence, I wanted to say, I always remind myself that they are more scared of me than I am of them. That they are more scared Okay, and now that I have done writing all of that out on my whiteboard, I'm going to go ahead and turn it around so I can share it with you. Okay, let's see. Can you all see that whole thing? It says, I am afraid of spiders. When I look at spiders, my skin crawls. They have too many legs, and I'm scared that they'll crawl on me. When I was a counselor, I often had to remove spiders from the cabin. I would use a cup and a piece of paper and throw them outside. I always remind myself that they are more scared of me than I am of them. All right, and so that is my story about a fear that I have and how I overcame that fear of spiders. And I hope that that gave you guys some inspiration for how to write about what you were scared of and what it makes you feel, and then what was a time when you had to be brave around that thing. So yeah, I hope that you guys got some good ideas from that, and I hope you don't get too scared writing this. I hope you can be brave and think of a time that you were brave. Maybe use me for inspiration about me overcoming my fear of spiders. Although I still don't like them, I'm not as scared of them anymore. So yeah, I hope that you guys get some good ideas from this video to write your own. And yeah, I hope to see you guys again next week, and thanks again for joining me. Bye, Stair students.